No one on this planet likes to put themselves through the misery that comes after a breakup. But at times, you'd have to go through the gray clouds of the miserable time to find your rainbow. The best way to find the light after a dark period is by reading a good book that fits the category. Going through a breakup is one of the most awful things ever, but it's also necessary at times, especially if that relationship is not good for you. That does not entail that you have to spend the entire week that follows in your bed all day, crying your eyes out. Pick a good self-help and motivational book and find your zing again. However, if there is one thing worse than a bad breakup is reading a sad and melancholic book right after the bad breakup. Instead of giving motivation, it will push you deep into the clutches of sadness. So ditch the sad romance novels on your bedside table and pick up one of the 10 books that I am about to recommend. If you find this video helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and share. If you're new to this channel, hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon to never miss an update. Links to the books are given in the description below. Number 10. The Breakup Bible by Rachel A. Sussman. This great book has been written by Rachel A. Sussman, who is a 47-year-old writer who also works as a licensed therapist. So if this woman tells you to do something, you better do it because she knows what she is talking about. The Breakup Bible discusses all the secrets and techniques that a woman needs to practice while going through an awful breakup. Despite the heartache that they have to endure, there is a way for them to come out stronger from it, and that is what the book focuses on. The data for the book comes from the countless counseling sessions the author has conducted with women going through breakups. So the pieces of advice, as well as the steps that have been shared in it, will help a person heal the right way. It will also help in moving forward in life and finding a new purpose. Personally, I think, even if a person is not going through a breakup, this book is a great read. Number 9. Heartbreak by Florence Williams. The great name of Florence Williams has appeared many times as her writings have been published in many outlets. Her greatest work includes Breast, The Nature Fix, and of course, Heartbreak. What makes this book of Florence Williams special and sets it apart from the rest of her writings is that it is based on her own experience of the breakup of 25 years of marriage. The book is based on her own examination and analysis of heartbreak and what happens to the human body when a person is experiencing the pain of a breakup. From blood tests to electrical shocks, Florence conducted thorough research that is the basis of her book. It is also reason why her book is so interesting because of the way she presented her findings. This book will completely change the way a person sees and perceives the meaning of love to be. Number 8. Getting the Love You Want by Hartwell Hendricks. Being an educator and therapist for more than 30 years, Dr. Hartwell Hendricks has a lot of experience when it comes to couples counseling. He has poured all of his experience and learning into his book, Getting the Love You Want. Getting the Love You Want is an excellent read for people who find themselves always stuck in a loop of unhealthy and toxic relationships. It'll change the way we perceive love. The main focus of this book is to help people understand what supportive and healthy relationships are and how to attain them. Staying true to its title, this book will actually teach you how to get the love that you want and deserve. The best part is that while writing this book, Hendricks took the input of his wife into consideration. So instead of a typical book mansplaining situations and problems to you, the step-by-step program of this book will actually help you understand what you need to do in order to overcome your chain of unhealthy relationships and find one that is good for you. Number 7. Whole Again by Jackson Mackenzie. If we talk about the author, Jackson Mackenzie is one of the best authors when it comes to self-help and motivation. His work with abuse survivors has made it possible for him to develop the kind of empathy that every person needs in their life. What makes this book stand out is the fact that it helps abuse and toxic relationship survivors on how to move forward with their life. Working with countless survivors personally, he has wrapped up all of his findings in this single book. Instead of setting unrealistic expectations over survivors or forcing positivity over them, the book actually states all of the symptoms that a person has to go through after a bad breakup. It also shares that they can find themselves again in the middle of facing all of the bad symptoms. Personally, I like this book as along with providing the readers with words of counseling, it also shares with them the process of finding themselves again. Number 6. Stop Overthinking by Nick Trenton. In all his life, Nick Trenton has written many books that covered everything from overcoming a bad breakup to helping a person in transforming themselves with positive self-talk. Stop Overthinking is the type of book that will give you motivation as well as tips on how to find yourself again after a breakup. One of the worst things that come after a breakup is the vicious cycle of overthinking. This book teaches the readers how they can break themselves out of this cycle. The 23 techniques shared in this book cover many things from reducing negative self-talk and spirals to all of the healthy ways of relieving stress from your body. It is an amazing read for those who experience a hard time calming their thoughts and processing their emotions. Number 5. Getting Past Your Breakup by Susan Jade Elliott. The name of Susan Jade Elliott has appeared on our screens multiple times whenever moving forward from a breakup is mentioned. The author has conducted multiple workshops on equipping people with all the knowledge they need to move forward from their breakup. From pieces of advice and words of encouragement to a guide on how to move forward, Getting Past Your Breakup covers everything that can help a person move on. The author has included a plan for moving forward in detail that includes the major rules of disengagement, working through grief, and best of all, understanding and breaking the pattern of failed and toxic relationships. Before you categorize it as any self-help book found on the shelf, the author knows the reality of going through a breakup and having the urge to contact the ex. Therefore, she has also added all the ways and activities that you can engage yourself in to stop thinking about contacting the ex. Number 4. Maybe You Should Talk to Someone by Lori Gottlieb. What makes the words of Lori Gottlieb so powerful is the fact that the woman is a licensed psychotherapist. So she has summed up all her clinical knowledge in her book and wrote them in an understanding tone that will not bore the readers to death or have them crying their eyes out. The primary focus of Maybe You Should Talk to Someone is on how the feelings after a breakup are the ones every individual experiences, as well as the ways of coping. The author highlights the importance and power of therapy, which can be taken from its title. There are 2 things that make her writing unique and worth the time. The first is that she has based the entire book on her experience as a therapist, as well as her experiences with the breakup as a woman. The second thing is the humorous tone of the book, which not only makes it possible for her words to have more impact, but also makes it easier for readers to read. Number 3. When Things Fall Apart by Pema Chodron. The author of this book is quite a remarkable woman. Pema Chodron is a Buddhist teacher, as well as an ordained nun, and in all her life, she has written many amazing books that are recognized across the globe. When Things Fall Apart is the perfect example of the author's amazing work. In this book, she talks about all the difficulties that an individual faces in their life. However, instead of hiding from that pain, the author has talked about how to turn it into your strength. The book shares how a person can turn their painful emotions into a means of attaining more wisdom and learning the art of proper communication. Moreover, the book also shares other strategies that a person going through a breakup badly needs in their life. In fact, the wisdom Pema has shared in this book is not limited to those suffering through a breakup, but applies to other areas and events of a person's life as well. Number 2. Rising Strong by Brené Brown. Being a social scientist, Brené Brown has spent a great chunk of her life studying the various emotions and feelings that often arise while going through heartbreak, such as empathy, vulnerability, and shame. The soft tone of her writing, along with the encouraging words, makes it possible for her words to have a powerful impact on readers. Rising Strong is one of the books of this author that have been recognized and loved across the globe. She has based the data for her book on her actual research on couples, parents, teachers, and a wide range of people from other walks of life. This book is a great way to learn how to find power through one's own emotions. The one emotion she has discussed in great detail is vulnerability, which is often frowned upon in the society in which we are living. However, our amazing author has gone into great detail about how the best way of finding joy, love, and meaning in life is to experience this emotion and make it the best weapon in your arsenal. This book is definitely a must-read for men and women who have been taught to categorize this emotion in the negative column. Number 1. The Divorce Recovery Workbook by Mark S. Rye and Crystal D. Moore. Before we talk about the book, let me introduce the great minds behind it. Being a clinical psychologist, Dr. Mark S. Rye has had a lot of experience in his life with patients dealing with heartbreak and trauma. He wrote this amazing book with the help of Dr. Crystal D. Moore. The Divorce Recovery book is an amazing read that takes all of the emotions a person feels right after a breakup or divorce into consideration. This book offers different ways for a person to rebuild their life after going through a divorce. It teaches various practices including positive thinking and mindfulness to help them cope with the pain and help them move forward, instead of remaining in the same dark place. This workbook provides readers with all the motivation they need to change the course of their lives. Instead of forcing changes to be implemented overnight, The book teaches how the readers can change their situation in smaller steps. It even tackles tips for dealing with a co-parent situation with your ex. That is all for today, readers. These were all of the books I could find for you to read right after a breakup or going through a nasty divorce. However, merely reading them will not do the job. You will have to implement what the books are suggesting to actually improve your life for the better. If this video helps you find the next book you are going to read, then like and share this video. Let me know in comment section on what type of books I should cover in my next video. Also, if you read one of the books mentioned in this video, share your review or thoughts with us. Subscribe this channel for more such awesome videos. Thanks for watching.